Hey wild ones, it's Cypris. To all of you tuning in for the first time, welcome to the wild. Why am I trying out a cheap camcorder? Well, funny story. DSLR cameras will only film for about 12 to 20 minutes straight. I am doing some filming next week that's going to require me to leave the camera running for an hour or two at a time. And I was trying to figure out how in the heck I was going to manage keeping track of a camera for that, and it dawned on me I could get a camcorder and just let it run, and so I think this is a good option. I hope. What is it, $120, $130 camcorder? I don't know. I don't know. Is it going to actually function reliably? It makes me nervous to invest in such an inexpensive camera, but if this turns out to work, this could be really handy. So let's get into this. It feels way too light to have a camcorder, but the last time I had a camcorder, admittedly, was just about 20 years ago. I guess they've probably improved since then. And before I tear into this, I just want to say, what? Why is there a Grinch on my Amazon box? Rude! He's not wearing that cheap little Santa hat, so this is still the villain. What are you telling me? What are you saying about me, Amazon? Why? Why are you sending out the Grinch? Why, Amazon? Why? Anyway. I open the box, and inside, there's another box. Boy, it's a cute little box. Alright, FHD with night shot. Ooh. There are features here that made this valuable to me. The view screen can flip around, so it is useful for vlogging. It's actually got night vision, which none of my other cameras have. That could be useful. The manufacturer claims that it films in 1080 high def. It doesn't go to the 4K, but I'm not sure that I can even utilize the 4K. 1920 by 1080. Now, hold the phone. It's supposed to come with a microphone. Oh, I'm gonna be upset. Frick. The problem is, I need this like next week. What am I gonna do? Anyway, let's open this sucker up and see what all we got going on here. Warm tips? What's a warm tip? When you use mobile phone to shoot videos through the app, the audio format of video will be WAV. So if you use Android phone to play back videos, something about using your Android phone and how to do that. I'm not planning on doing that. There's a microphone. Okay. Okay. You don't have to freak out. Let's tip you a little bit. Is that too much tipping? Okay. Cable. Mini HDMI. I am assuming this is for playback. We've got a microphone. It looks like it should be directional. Oh, and how nice. It comes with a battery, so you don't have to scrounge. That's awfully considerate. Chamber for it right there. You see that? And I don't actually know enough about sound to know that focus. There we go. To know what those are, but I'm sure the instructions will tell me. It's so cute. Little tiny. So there's a little manual. What else? Plug. This is for charging the battery, and it's got an HDMI thing. And this is really smart. I guess everything's doing this now, but I am still charmed by this because I'm old enough to think this is really cool. Here we've got the cable. This is for charging. Oh, that's one of the other features that I thought was really important. I can film while it's plugged in, so I'm not running the battery down and I don't need a billion batteries. It's one less thing to worry about while I'm trying to film this event all day long. And by the way, the event that I will be filming is the Woman Arising 2018 Women's Meditation and Empowerment Retreat in Sedona, Arizona. So you'll be seeing some footage from that. This must be the battery. Looks like a battery. And then this adorable little remote control. Oh my goodness, is there a camera in there? What the heck? What is this? This isn't even big enough for binoculars. What the heck? It's so tiny. Oh my word. This is the tiniest little thing. Let's get it out of the bag so you can see it. Is this even a camera? I can't get over how tiny this thing is. Okay, there's a little pocket down here. That's for the battery and the memory. Lens cap. Oh, it does have a lens cap. I thought it didn't come with a lens cap, so that's even better. Let's see, on the top we have the zoom. Phone. Oh, photo. This button is for photographing and this button is for video recording, but you can see the controls here on the top. And the controls on the bottom. And the back here is mic, HD, and the USB. So this is where you plug in to recharge or to playback or for the little microphone to go into. That feels nice, actually. Some of this feels like kind of slightly cheap plastic, but the cover for those ports that you'll be getting into every day, that actually feels nice. So that's good. That means it won't wear out as fast. That's some smart thinking there. Little padded hand holder. Can I get this small enough for my hand? That is, oh, yep, not a, the Velcro is only just covering the area that I need it to fit my hand. I don't know. Maybe they're figuring it's going to be soccer dads using this. A little bit of a design flaw there, but for $130, if this works somewhat reliably, this is a really good deal. Oh, we did not try this. Look at that. Look at that. It looks like it works. And then on the inside, we have some more buttons. Let's see, what are these? Power, mode, up, down, menu, Wi-Fi. So we'll figure those out too. There's not a ton of stuff going on with this camera that shouldn't be too hard to master in a few days here. So we're gonna take this on the road. I'm gonna learn how to use it fast, and we're gonna use this to film the weekend meditation retreat. I'll get some footage. We'll come back afterwards and I will review this sucker. Okay, actually there's a couple other things I want to note. The camera does come with a carrying bag. It does have a nice place to put it onto a belt or strap of some kind. I will say though, it's only just big enough for the camera and nothing else. So I will need to scrounge a camera bag or something for the camcorder and all its accoutrements. So that's a little frustrating. However, where'd it go? Where'd it go? It comes with a real instruction manual. I don't know how good the instructions are yet, but it's even color-coded and there are multiple pages. It's not like one of those fold-out things, you know, where you... This is an actual booklet with diagrams and colors and directions, and don't know yet how good the translation is. Those can be problematic, but I'm pretty happy material-wise. That's a luxury you don't often see anymore with electronics. They did put an extra space in the possessive users, and the manual really ought to be capitalized. Wasn't edited. We'll see if it was translated well. We'll just see if a $120 camcorder can do the job.
Hello. Are you here for the 3 days? Yes. Awesome. Can you sign a release form or have it front and back?
The opening ceremony is where I like for all of us to come and do a big circle around me. Okay? Please. And one more.
Welcome back. It's been a few weeks and I am ready to talk about the pros and cons of this really inexpensive camera. The most important thing, it works! It actually works! I was nervous. This thing is so inexpensive. It's an off-brand. I thought I might go to the trouble of hauling it out to Arizona with me and it would have something fatally wrong with it. In fact, I took some test footage and I pulled it up in Windows Media Player. And there was no sound. I about had a friggin' heart attack, but after some troubleshooting, I opened the file in my video editing software and the sound was there. So, emergency averted. But weeks later, I have not figured out why the sound won't play in Windows Media Player. If I take the file in my video editing software, I've been using Shotcut. I was able to convert the file into an MP4 and play that file back in Windows Media Player and the sound was just fine. It records the sound, but I have zero idea why Windows Media Player does not recognize the sound. Audacity had zero trouble picking up on the audio. So it's just something between this camera and Media Player, so that's something to think about. I really didn't trust this thing and I had a couple things happen that really made me scared. Word to the wise, just stay calm and troubleshoot a little bit. So I want to go over what I liked and what I didn't with this camera. Firstly, this camera will shoot continuously as long as the battery doesn't run down. It can record while it's plugged in. I messaged the company before I even ordered it. This, they told me, would record an hour and a half to 2 hours at a time. But I discovered it never turned off on me. It recorded continuously for at least 3 hours in one stretch. I didn't test it further than that, but it did what I needed it to do. And I was so relieved because, again, cheap camera, what are you gonna expect? This does have some sort of autofocus capacity. I think it's some kind of just all-purpose focusing lens. I don't know much about camera lenses. It doesn't mechanically focus. It just seems to always be focused. You can't manually focus it. It just is what it is. And you just zoom in on what you want to see. As you can see, this comes with a supplemental microphone. You can see in the clip that I'm about to show you, there is some difference in the sound. This is a test of the additional microphone plugged in. This is a test, this is only a test. This is a test, this is only a test. This is a test, this is only a test. This is a test, this is only a test. This is a test of the additional microphone not plugged in. This is a test, this is only a test. This is a test, this is only a test. This is a test, this is only a test. So there you have it. So what we see is that the directional mic has an effect, and especially in a big space where you're recording in a large room. And I think it does have a noticeably better sound quality to it. So I think it's really nice that it comes with this mic. As inexpensive as this microphone is, it's still better than what's on the camera. And it has two settings. You can turn it on to regular and extra dB. And one of the genius things about how this works, if you forget to turn the microphone on and it's plugged in, the camera's microphone still works. I did that a couple times. I forgot to turn this thing on. It was plugged into the back. I thought, oh no, I've got zero sound. Nope, it's still recorded. So really nice little fail-safe that I wasn't expecting, and very glad that was there. Okay, it's been a while since I've used a camcorder, and this got me. There's a date stamp that you can set the date on this, and then it shows the date stamp on the screen of everything it records. This is fine if you're recording home videos, but if you're trying to actually just record an event or vlog or whatever, generally you don't want a date stamp on your footage. You can set it to display none, but you have to do that. Another quirk about this camera, you can set the date and time, and the entire weekend that I was using it to record the event, it held up. The date was accurate. However, when I pulled it up a couple weeks later, it still said November and we're in December. So I don't know what that's about. I'm thinking that there's something quirky and you're gonna wanna check your date on your footage. Not happy about that. That's a real nuisance. Every time you've left the camera sitting for any length of time, you have to reset the date stamp. One of the features that I didn't necessarily go looking for, but that I'm really excited that this has, is night vision. Check it out! Okay, I am holding this out as wide as it'll go and as far as my arm will hold it out. So this is all the wider a shot I can get. This is all the more zoomed out I can go at my arm's length. So I feel like that's a little bit of a limitation. But we're here in the bathroom to see how well the night vision works. How about that? Pretty freaky. It's pitch black in here. There are no windows in this bathroom at all. Apparently I don't show up in the mirror. Try it this way. Hello! There we go. So that's the night vision. As you can see from the footage, it works. You can see in pitch black, and I did not have a camera that could do anything like that, so I'm really excited about what kinds of things I could do with this, since night vision. That could get useful. One of the features of this camera on this really clever view screen, the LCD is actually a touch screen, and you're supposed to be able to touch some of the icons. Oh, and there it did it for me. It went into playback mode. But what I have found is that it doesn't like to register my fingertips, and I'm using a stylus. If you're dealing with a camcorder like this, you might want to keep a stylus with you, because I am fighting and fighting and fighting. And now it's gonna work for me because you're watching. But it has consistently been very difficult for me to use my fingers on this, so I have just started carrying this wrong end. This stylus around with me. It recognizes the stylus far more easily than it does my fingers, which is fine. That way I'm not getting fingerprints all over the screen. Alright, as far as image quality, well, I'll let you gauge for yourself. I've got on the screen 2 images taken in the same place at the same time of day. I took them back to back. The first one is camcorder, and the second one is this camera, the SX50HS, the one that I've been vlogging with. So you can see there really isn't a question about the quality of the image. These are both set to a white balance of incandescent lighting. You know, this camera is not pretending to be a high quality camera. It's about cost effectiveness. It's about having the equipment that gets the job done at a price that I could afford. So I'm not going to complain too much. The image is there and it's in focus, and it's not going to be my primary vlogging camera. That's okay. The user manual, always kind of a wild card when it comes to electronics. The manual is actually pretty well organized and has really clear instructions. There is a little bit of a language barrier. The translator wasn't like amazing at English, but it's pretty good, and the typos and grammatical confusions are really at a minimum. It does cover all of the functions that the camera does, so it's really useful, and overall I'm impressed. As I mentioned already, the camera does have a white balance setting. It does, I think, also have ISO settings, but I am enough of an amateur, I really don't know much yet about programming cameras. So I do have white balance down, and I was able to set the white balance depending on the lighting situations, which I think is a really nice feature to have in something that's so simple and bare bones. Alright, final thoughts on this adorable tiny little camera that is too small to be a camera. Sorry about all the fingerprints on there. I'm gonna keep using this. It is not the most amazing camera in the world, but it works. It does the job. For the price, I cannot complain. I'm kind of amazed at what this does for the price. Professionals beware. It's not professional quality on any level, but it works and it does the things that it claims to do. So just a real quick recap of the pros and cons. Cons: there's no manual focus. The date stamp meanders. The touch screen isn't very good at being touchable. The image quality is not amazing. And for whatever reason, I haven't been able to get the sound to work in Windows Media Player. That said, it does require the chip to format. My other cameras just take the chip and use it. This formatted it itself. It did it easily and automatically, but you can't use the data chips interchangeably between cameras. This needs its own data chips because it formats them differently. So I don't know if that's part of why the sound doesn't work, but it's something to consider because you have to plan ahead a little bit more with your SD cards. Okay, pros. Big one, the price. For what this camera does and how little it costs, I feel like it's a super amazing deal. I kept expecting it to fail me and it really didn't. It shoots continuously. If you need to just set something up and record, it'll do it. I haven't tried the other functions out, but it should record in slow motion and time lapse. I'm going to have a lot of fun playing with those features because those are really useful to have. The screen, great for vlogging. To top it all off, this camcorder came with a supplemental microphone, and while it's not amazing, it's a lot better than the built-in mic. I'm gonna have to give this guy a thumbs up. There were so many times I thought, there's no way. I'm gonna have to return it. It's not gonna work. It's gonna break down. It's gonna film abysmally. It's gonna fail me in some way. And it never did. And what did I pay for this? 130 bucks more or less. So it may be a cheap camera, but I am becoming more and more fond of this thing because it's been far more reliable and functional than I ever expected it to be. That really just shocks me and makes me kind of happy. I can actually recommend this as true to advertising. I don't know why I'm so shocked. I guess because the last time I bought a camcorder, you couldn't spend less than $800. I will be continuing to use this and experiment with this as I make more videos. If you see anything filmed in night vision, you know what's going on for sure. Okay, that was a lot of information. I hope I didn't bog you down too much. I'm just so amazed and I wanted to get the information out there about this camcorder and this brand. What is the brand name on this? See, it's such an off-brand that it doesn't even say. Here's the brand and the description. So, if you happen to be in the market for an inexpensive camcorder that works, what do you think? Are you using something different that you like better? If you liked learning about this camera, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, hit subscribe, and if you really can't get enough of me, click on that notification bell and be notified every time I upload a video. And if you want to keep up with me on all of the social medias, I am also on Facebook and Instagram, so check me out there and keep it wild, guys.